right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A South St. Louis couple living in fear.
I'm on edge all the time. Every little noise, you're jumping.
Tonight, the search for the gunman who shot up their home twice in 7 days.
Widespread rain isn't in our future, but the isolated afternoon rain chance, that sticks with us a couple more days. How that rain chance could impact our Wednesday afternoon air quality.
Our top story, a beloved dog shot dead at the hands of a sheriff's deputy.
It's just devastating. There's no other words for it. He shouldn't have been on my property.
Now a family is demanding answers. Tonight, the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office confirms one of its deputies shot and killed a dog on Sunday. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The animal was an emotional support dog for a Farmington man recovering from brain tumor surgery. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan spoke to the heartbroken family tonight. Megan.
Kelly and Mike, the dog was named Nala. The St. Francis County Sheriff's Office tells us the deputy was on the Farmington couple's property on Sunday looking for ring camera footage after a burglary happened on their street earlier that day. Tonight, we hear from Nala's owners who want the deputy to be held accountable.
That's why the police officer was here in the first place. He wanted to see if he could use our camera footage. We didn't have any.
It was a normal Sunday afternoon. Diana Dollin says her husband Scott was in the backyard when a St. Francis County deputy pulled in their driveway and started walking to the front door.
My husband heard the shots and came running around, and there she lay. He had already shot her. He immediately started saying, "She bit me."
Nala, their 2-year-old chocolate lab, had just been shot and killed. Diana says Nala had never been violent and was even wearing an invisible fence collar.
She'd never been aggressive a day in her life. She'd never bit anyone. After it happened, there was no remorse. It was still, I did what I had to do, too bad type of attitude.
Nala, who had just given birth to a litter of puppies, was more than just a dog to the Dollins. She was Scott's emotional support animal. She was family.
My husband had a brain tumor. He had surgery. Nala had been there with him through all of that. She slept with us every night.
Diana's dad lives next door and ran over to their house right after the shooting.
Nala welcomed everybody. All her dogs welcome everybody. But the way they do it is they jump up on you, you know, and their tongues wagging, and they greet people like that. And I'm sure that's what happened, and if he has a mark on him, he's got a scratch mark.
The county says there's no dash cams in our vehicles. There's no body cams for St. Francis County. That's not acceptable. It's just devastating. There's no other words for it. He shouldn't have been on my property. I'm here to get justice for my dog. That man does not need to have a gun. This does not need to happen to anyone else.
Now, we reached out to the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office today, who confirmed the deputy shot the dog after he says he was bit. Right now, they're waiting on reports from the Farmington Police Department, who had officers respond. Now, we are not sharing the name of the deputy since he hasn't been charged with the crime.
Turning now to the weather impact forecast, spotty showers continue to pop up in the bi-state.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is also tracking those and more chances for hit or miss storms this week, Scott.
No, and it's been pretty much hit or miss this evening. Once again, we're still watching a few of these showers and thunderstorms bubble up across the St. Louis area. This one came through Creve Coeur, some thunder, some lightning in there. It's kind of weakening as it approaches Forest Park. Got another one that's kind of blowing up out here around the Harvester area in St. Charles over towards Greens Bottom Road. So you're basically looking at these isolated cells. They're still trying to keep going tonight. A few more down here to our south and southwest. They're drifting fairly slowly off to the east, and they don't tend to last too long. Overnight, we think things settle down. Tomorrow morning, outside of a little bit of fog, especially if you've seen some rain today or this evening, we will see bright skies early in the morning, and then during the afternoon, a chance for a spot shower or thunderstorm again. Now, that would be good tomorrow because extra cloud cover tomorrow and any rain would mitigate our air quality situation. Right now, we have an air quality alert that goes into effect at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Those ozone levels will be coming up during the afternoon hours. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups if we get there, so limit your time outside. Exercise in the morning and try to consolidate your errands with the car.
Scott, thanks. Just hours ago, charges were announced in a shooting that happened during the middle of a church service. Derek Williams is charged with assault, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. His wife, Dana, is charged with unlawful use of a weapon. The shooting happened on July 14th in Bellefontaine Neighbors while Brothers and Sisters in Christ Fellowship Church was holding services. Police say Derek Williams fired shots at a security guard and then sped off in a car with his wife and 2 children. No one was hurt.
Dozens of shots fired at 2 homes in the Dutchtown neighborhood in South St. Louis. Now a woman says she and her husband are living in fear. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend joins us live from police headquarters with more on the search for suspects. Robert.
Kelly, tonight the shooters who rattled the St. Louis couple are still somewhere out there. Marguerite McGee just wants her peace back and those criminals off the streets. Chilling, loud, and rapid gunfire caught on surveillance video in the 6900 block of Alabama Avenue in this Dutchtown neighborhood in South St. Louis.
You know it's crazy. It was scary.
67-year-old Marguerite McGee says on July 14th and 21st, someone in a black car rode down her street and repeatedly shot up her home.
11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, which was really odd. They were both at the same time.
McGee wasn't home, but her 82-year-old husband was when bullets pummeled the place they've called home for 24 years.
This is the bedroom here. The glass was shot out, the siding was shot out, the bricks, all of the bullets went like straight through.
She says the first time more than 30 bullets hit their home. During the second incident, the gunman fired more than 40 rounds, piercing the couple's living room, destroying their light fixtures, even shattering their grandchildren's picture frame. You don't know why they're doing this.
We have no idea. We haven't bothered anybody.
Her terrified husband lying on their bed when he dropped to the floor for his life.
It's nothing but the grace of God that saved them both times. We're living in fear. We can't relax, can't sleep.
And Monday night, she believes the same shooter or shooters came back and sprayed her next-door neighbor's home with a barrage of bullets.
Easily hit my husband or my neighbor, and they would no longer be with us.
Police say after firing a large rifle at the 2 homes, the suspects sped off in a black sedan.
Investigators are looking at all 3 of these incidents to determine if they are in fact all related.
Yes, I want them to catch these people and get them off the street because they're dangerous.
Now, McGee is praying it doesn't happen again, but she says if it does, she and her husband are moving out of that neighborhood. Meantime, investigators are asking anyone with any information to call St. Louis police. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
The Department of Justice now investigating the shooting death of Sonia Massey. She's the Central Illinois woman who was shot and killed inside her home by a Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy. The announcement comes one day after Illinois State Police released body camera footage of the July 6th shooting. Prosecutors say Deputy Sean Grayson shot Massey 3 times. The 36-year-old mother of 2 called 911 because she thought an intruder was inside her home. Massey's family is now demanding answers on why dispatchers believe she died by suicide.
My friend works at the hospital. When she realized that was my BM, she called me because she was concerned about no family showing up. It was too much time to pass without the family being notified. And she heard the police telling the nurses she killed herself. How do you get that confused?
Grayson has been charged with first-degree murder. He's currently in jail. He's also been fired from the sheriff's department.
Missouri's Attorney General is appealing a judge's decision to overturn Christopher Dunn's murder conviction. It is a move that is keeping Dunn in prison tonight. Dunn has been behind bars for 34 years. He was convicted of shooting and killing 15-year-old Rico Rogers in St. Louis in 1990. Dunn has always said he's innocent. 2 witnesses who testified against him later withdrew their claims. The Circuit Attorney's Office is working to see what legal steps are next.
A Metro East man is dead after drowning in the Big River at Rockford Park in Jefferson County. It's the first drowning there this year. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says 33-year-old Guadalupe Lopez of Madison, Illinois, was spotted going underwater around 1:30 this afternoon. His body was recovered about 2 hours later. It's the 8th time first responders have been called to Rockford Park this year for a water rescue, and it's the 6th drowning at the park since 2014. And the drowning comes 2 days after a Valley Park woman drowned in the Big River near St. Francis State Park. Authorities say 40-year-old Melissa Hill tried to rescue another person and lost consciousness in the water.
Tonight, St. Louis Public Schools unveiled its next steps to get your kids to school. The main priority, student safety. If approved, the transportation plan would eliminate dozens of bus routes. The plan utilizes Metro buses and Metrolink. School officials want to use district police officers, volunteers, and staff to patrol areas of concern. Instructional videos will also be created to teach students how to use public transportation. Fewer barriers are coming to St. Louis County seniors applying for a property tax credit. A new ordinance passed by the County Council today lowers the qualifying age from 67 to 62. It also removes a cap on the assessed property value.
Well, tonight, President Joe Biden is back at the White House after spending several days at his Delaware home recovering from COVID. He will make a primetime address from the Oval Office tomorrow night.
The president will talk about his decision to drop his re-election bid and lay out his vision for the next 6 months. You can watch it tomorrow night at 7 here on 5 on Your Side, our YouTube channel, and streaming on 5+. Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris is racing toward the Democratic nomination, raking in endorsements, delegates, and nominations and donations.
And today, she made her first campaign stop in Wisconsin, the former prosecutor making her case against former President Donald Trump.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
The former president and his Republican running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, are sharpening their attacks against their new likely opponent, hitting on issues like immigration and inflation.
She signed up for every single one of Joe Biden's failures, and she lied about his mental capacity to serve as president.
Tonight, Trump said he's willing to debate Harris more than once.
We are 2 weeks away from the Missouri primary. From now until August 5th, voters can cast no excuse absentee ballots. You'll need to show an official photo ID like a driver's license, state ID, veteran's card, or passport. We have a full list of polling places in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Tomorrow night, the Republicans running for Missouri governor will debate here at the 5 on Your Side studios. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will moderate, and due to the president's address, the debate will air Thursday night at 7. It will also stream on the 5+ app.
There's a new sheriff in Paris.
I was like, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that and witness that.
He's a two-time Super Bowl champion turned pitchman. How Peyton Manning was recruited to be an Olympic TV host. Incredible video of a surprise attack from under the sea. Tonight, 2 lucky boaters have a whale of a tale to tell.
No major storm systems here, but we have air quality issues, at least a chance of rain this weekend, wildfire smoke in the atmosphere, and potentially some big heat by the end of next week. We'll see you in 7 minutes.
With just 3 days until the 2024 Summer Olympics, the Olympic flame is inching closer to Paris. The torch relay made its way through a town about an hour south of the French capital today. The flame will light the Olympic cauldron during the opening ceremony Friday night. It's going to be an opening ceremony like we've never seen before, and one of the greatest football players of all time will be a big part of it.
Yeah, Peyton Manning is hosting NBC's coverage alongside Kelly Clarkson and Mike Tirico. And in tonight's Journey to Paris, Matt Renew shows us how a Super Bowl MVP is looking forward to being part of a one-of-a-kind event.
As a quarterback for the Denver Broncos,
he throws. Daniels is there. Daniels with the catch. Touchdown, Denver.
Peyton Manning knows all about big games, helping Denver win Super Bowl 50 back in 2015.
Rush looks right, throws right to Benny Fowler. Fowler with a diving catch and the 2.
But I do have an appreciation for the journey that it takes to get to that big moment in your sports career.
Number 18, Peyton Manning, and let him hold that trophy.
And now in Paris,
I think it's just a unique opportunity to be in Paris.
the sheriff is helping out with NBC's coverage of the biggest sporting event on the planet.
I think it's going to be such a spectacle that kind of the last piece of advice I just got was, hey, when in doubt, just sort of don't say anything and just kind of watch. And I went, I can do that.
Sharing hosting duties with Kelly Clarkson and Mike Tirico for a one-of-a-kind opening ceremony down the Seine River.
Mike Tirico kind of approached me about doing it. They were going to sort of change it up and just sort of celebrate these athletes. Paris is doing it differently. Athletes are on boats coming down the Seine, getting dropped off at the Eiffel Tower. I was like, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that and witness that.
And while Peyton says, unlike football, there's a lot more at stake for athletes competing in a once every 4 years event.
Way different than football, right? You lose a game in football, hey, there's always next year. Olympics, there's 4 years and you might not get back.
He says that while he wouldn't have been able to get to the summer games, a few of his former teammates would have been great Olympians.
Could Von Miller or Demaryius Thomas or Marvin Harrison have done something in Olympics? Absolutely, right? Track something, but me, Eli, no chance.
And along with hosting the opening ceremony, Manning is also interviewing Olympic athletes like LeBron James about competing in Paris.
And the kickoff to the Paris Games also marks the comeback of Celine Dion. The music legend will perform during the opening ceremony. It will be Dion's first performance since 2022, when she was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition. The French-Canadian singer also performed at the opening ceremony of the '96 Atlanta Games, singing "The Power of the Dream."
And a reminder, you can watch the opening ceremony this Friday. Our coverage begins at 11 a.m. right here on 5 on Your Side. And a replay of the ceremony will air in prime time beginning at 6:30. 5 on Your Side is your home to the Summer Olympics. For more on the events and when they'll air, plus the latest on our local Olympians competing in Paris, just text the word Paris to 314-425-5355.
Scary moments for two boaters caught on camera. They were thrown overboard as a whale came out of the water and slammed into their boat. It happened this morning off the coast of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Now, those boaters were not seriously hurt and say it is a miracle they're alive. The Coast Guard said the whale appears to be unhurt.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with that weather impact forecast, talking about these showers.
Boy, somebody ticked that whale off, I do believe.
Right, yeah.
All right, so we've got these scattered showers around the St. Louis area right now, even some rumbles of thunder. It's not anything that's widespread. The focus has been to our north and more to our southeast overall today, but we have had these isolated showers and rumbles of thunder. There's one right now that's working its way across the Page Avenue extension at this moment and into St. Louis County, heading towards the Blanchette Bridge. What was moving out of Creve Coeur through Frontenac and approaching the city of St. Louis is fizzling out on us. Not much left other than a few raindrops. And you've had a couple of spritzes and sprinkles up at Lambert as well. So that's about it in the metro area. Can't imagine it lasting too much longer. Some spot showers and thunderstorms down southwest of Steelville and Crawford County, as well as far southern portions of Washington County. They will fade over the next hour, hour and a half or so. 76 degrees right now. Winds light out of the south, 2.67. As temperatures drop overnight tonight, we may see some fog developing with these last few raindrops in the past 30 minutes at Lambert. Now a trace of rainfall in the rain gauge. Upper 60s, right around 70. Some patches of fog overnight. Otherwise, it'll be pretty quiet to wake up tomorrow morning. We should get plenty of sunshine in the morning. Now that's part of the problem, because you have sunshine and you don't have much of a breeze. That means pollution builds up. So midday into the afternoon, that orange air quality is forecast. However, if we get extra clouds and maybe a few spot showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, and that's certainly possible, that could mitigate that orange air quality. It would be ozone as the primary consideration there. 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. we have that air quality alert, so the ozone levels climb. Want to try to exercise early, be outside as early as you can, and limit travel if you can as well. Looking at Saturday, the best chance of more substantial rains off to the west and southwest of us. Sunday, some of that heavier rain tries to drift into central portions of Missouri, northern portions of Missouri. Yes, we have a rain chance this weekend. Right now, it doesn't look like it's widespread. Still plenty of dry time. 91 for the high tomorrow. In the 80s here Thursday, Friday. Notice the warming trend, though, as we head towards the middle of next week. So we go into next week, this big upper-level ridge, which is a heat dome out to our west, starts to nudge to the east by Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe we get some disturbances coming at us from the northwest, but if we don't, temperatures will be in that 95 to 100-degree range by the end of next week and into next weekend. And there would be limited rain chances. Now, if we get the thunderstorms, then that knocks the heat off and kind of
it'll cool it off a little bit. All right, Scott, thanks.
Here's Frank.
I can't remember a more enjoyable Cardinal win this season. City FC is acquiring talent, and Stephen A. Smith is disrespecting Mizzou football. We will explain next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
If you didn't enjoy this fast-paced 2-hour and 23-minute game with incredible pitching and timely hitting, then you are a communist. Stop the presses. Paul Skeens has lost his first big league game courtesy of our St. Louis Cardinals. And 37-year-old Michael Lance Lynn said, "Kid, you're pretty good. But I know what I'm doing too." This is strikeout number 2,000. Lynn went 5 scoreless innings tonight in Pittsburgh. The key to success: get your superstars going. Nolan Arenado homers in the 5th, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. In the 9th, Skeens, who was still throwing 100 miles an hour, faced a guy with the best bat-to-ball skills on the team, Alec Burleson. Base hit the Stallion, Michael Ciani, who had doubled scores, 2-1 Cardinals. And then the Terminator finished things off in the 9th by striking out the side. Save number 33 for Ryan Helsley. Cards win a thriller, 2-1.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Today at City Park, Klaus was on the field during training working on his troublesome knee, but no word on when we might see him play. He's just one name on a prominent list of City Reds who missed last Saturday's draw with Sporting KC. But help is on the way. Sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel has signed 3 players who should make contributions right away. Forward Cedric Teuchert and midfielder Marcel Hartl come from Germany, and center back Jake Girdwood-Reich has come from Australia. Kelly Jackson has studied their game tapes and approves of the acquisitions. Teuchert and Girdwood-Reich have already seen action, and Hartl isn't far behind.
We need a bit more time to get in the patterns what the coach want to do on the pitch, and but I'm very excited to be here, and I will do my best to come as fast as possible in the team.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in the stands to watch a tune-up in London for the women's Olympic team. They put on a clinic free of charge against Germany. Nafisa Collier from Incarnate Word gets the bucket. Team USA gets an 84-57 win, and they've won 7 straight gold medals. Can you feel the skepticism in the air about this team? Despite winning the Cotton Bowl and going 11-2, there are many who are still not believers in Mizzou football, including ESPN's most famous personality.
And when I look at the SEC right now, I have Georgia, I have Texas, I have Ole Miss 3rd, and I even have Missouri at number 4. I have Bama at 5.
I should throw some wood on you.
Why
put
not?
Missouri over Alabama.
And I'm gonna give you Kool-Aid. And I'm gonna give you red Kool-Aid on your nice little purple
Missouri?
suit.
What? I mean, did spike that Kool-Aid without telling us? Did you have somebody throw something? Missouri?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Alabama?
Have you heard of Luther Burden III? Because he a burden on the whole damn SEC, and I should say college football. Okay. Have you heard of him?
No.
Have you heard of Brady Cook, the quarterback?
No.
I don't think anybody has ever confused Stephen A's college football knowledge with Kirk Herbstreit's. Look, Luther could be a top 10 pick in the draft, and Brady, who works at Channel 5, by the way, had a special season and is a wonderful quarterback. Mizzou is ranked 8th by ESPN, not in the conference, but in the country. All they have to do is win 2 of these 4 games, Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn, and Oklahoma. If they do that, they are 10-2 and in the college football playoff. Stephen A, read up on the Tigers. They're going to be pretty good. And that's, frankly speaking, for tonight.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Business in the front and a party in the back. The two local tots making the cut in a nationwide contest.
Well, two local boys have made the cut in the USA Kids Mullet Championship. 4-year-old Bodie Fisher of Millstadt, Illinois, calls his hairdo the Swayze Special, and 4-year-old Landon Brown of Moscow Mills, Missouri, has never had the back of his hair trimmed. The competition raises money for wounded veterans. Second round voting starts tomorrow. Oh yeah, we have a link at KSDK.com. Aren't you a former champion?
Oh, to be young again and have that
They
hair.
are adorable.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.